What's going on, guys? Zerse here. And in today's video, I'm gonna spend a couple of minutes kind of chatting about something that has been on my mind lately. So this is one of my popular spiel videos, where I'm just kind of chatting about something I've been thinking about. Nothing really right or wrong here. So at least nothing I really expect to be like right or wrong. Just something I've been thinking about. So there's one thing I'll never forget. Coming from my ex-girlfriend. And one thing is that she said one thing to me. I'm gonna go see if I can bring up the text message. One thing that really kind of always stuck with me a little bit. Okay, I remember. All right. So to tell the story really fast, really quick, little brass tacks. I sent her a text message, which was stupid, but I did anyway. And actually, I'll tell that story some other time. But basically, just to get to the meat of it, she sent me a text message. Text message says, why the fuck are you trying to prove anything to me? I'm always going to think you're a little shit who needs to grow a pair. Now, that statement has always bothered me for a very long time. The reason why I'm making this video is because I'm pretty sure other guys have also probably heard that statement before, or I've heard, you need to grow a pair, you need to, like, man up, and, all that jazz. And it really kind of stuck with me because, I never really understood what the fuck she meant. I'll tell you why. Because, in all honesty, when I was with my girlfriend, or if I was with my friends in general, really, they don't ever really have to worry about, me standing up for them, or, like, me protecting them, right? So, like, if anyone was ever to attack that girl in my presence, I would have beaten the dog shit out of them. I was never afraid to defend that girl because she's my girlfriend, or she's my friend. And the same thing for any of my other friends, so, like, engaging in combat to protect people around me is something that I'm not really, I'll be honest, I mean, I am kind of scared. I do have a respect for combat and danger, but it's something I would do. I would stick up for my friends, or I would put myself in between them and danger to protect them. I would do that. So, I mean, for her to tell me that, I don't have any balls, I always thought, she wasn't saying that in relation to, will I stand up and protect her from people, because she never had to worry about that, at least not in my presence. So I was always kind of, really think about that statement, and really what she meant, because it was just really weird to me that she would say that I was a coward, or that, that I wasn't a man to her. And so I guess the question would always be, like, what the fuck did you want? And that was really the question when it came to my ex-girlfriend. But that will be discussed in another video in the distant future, unfortunately, because my channel got struck down. I only got 15 minutes to really convey this, unfortunately. But, so yeah, and it just really always it really stuck with me. And it's not really that it hurt my feelings, it made me feel bad. But I do remember there were certain times where I would try to, like, prove myself to her, and that's wrong. I shouldn't have had to do that. But there would be times, and I'm sure that's of course, that's the point of the statement. The statement is, when you say man up, or, grow a pair, they want us men to be more aggressive, or for us to prove ourselves, or to prove that we're men to these women. Now, here's the thing that kind of gets me, is because, like I said, I didn't really understand what the fuck she wanted, so I could never give that to her, because I would always ask her, because I'll be honest, I kind of project on the people, which is not a good thing, but I project on the people, and since I usually say what I want and what I mean, I kind of make the assumption that everybody else says what they want and what they mean, and that's just not true. It's something I have to consciously think about and remember. Just because someone said that's what they want, that might not necessarily be true. And I would try to I would always ask my ex-girlfriend, like, at some argument that we had, like, what do you want? Or, I would ask her, I mean, will this make you happy? And she'll say, yeah. She'll be like, don't talk to me more. And I'll ask her, I'll check in, I'll say, is this what you want? And she'll say, yeah, I want you to stop doing that. And I'll do it. And then she'll come back and she'll start talking to me again. So I guess she really didn't want me to stop talking to her. I don't know. And it really fucking confused me. So that's part of the thing that really kind of got me, is like, when you tell me to man up, or when you tell me, you're always going to think that I don't have any balls, I'm like, well, why? Because, again, like, no one was ever going to hurt you, no one was ever going to inflict harm upon you in my presence. So I guess, really what she meant is, I guess, how me and her kind of talk to each other, right? So it's kind of be like this, you know, because there would be times where we would argue with each other, you know, and I would concede, and I would concede because I didn't want to hurt her, because, you know, she had a lot of mental damage, a lot of problems, and I didn't want to trigger her, you know, and also because I felt like it was my responsibility to kind of protect her from anything, and that's not good. But I'll have to talk about that later in more detail. But that's how it was, you know, and so there would be times where we would argue, and I would concede to her, and I would stop arguing, or I would apologize or say I'm sorry, because I was scared of, you know, hurting her, and scared of, you know, making her think or making her do something that was going to hurt herself, you know, because she was prone to do that. And so there have been times where I had been like a dick to her. I'll be real, I'll be honest. There were times where I was a dick to her, you know, but and most of the time, like I said, I would concede, and I think maybe, you know, she would say that I don't have any balls because I would prioritize her happiness over mine, and that's always how I saw it. Because I always thought, you know, there are lots of times where I would want something from her, and what I wanted from her a lot of times, I didn't want to date her again because I didn't want to date other people, because I'm a one-woman kind of guy, and I don't like trying to date people. I really don't. So I always wanted, if I ever got a girl to like me, I'm just going to stick on that one girl. That's what I wanted, but unfortunately that's not the way it worked. So I did want her back, and I didn't want to be with her, but not with all the bullshit though. That's unreasonable. But yeah, and so what I always wanted was at least to be her friend, because I figured, you know, we didn't have to be enemies. I always figured we didn't have to be angry with each other over stupid shit, but she just wanted to be fucking mad for, I don't know, I guess because it made her feel better. I don't know. But there was always times where I think we definitely could have, you know, parted on great terms, or at least alright terms, if she wasn't the way she was. And I don't mean to say that to paint her as a bad person. I do mean to say that as she's a very immature person, or at least to my knowledge she was. I can't really speak on how she is now. But she was a very immature person, and that was really kind of what really guided, I guess, the way she reacted to me. So, like I said, I would always prioritize the way she felt over the way I felt. So I always put her happiness before mine. And there were several times where I would be honest, I would like gush to her, and I would just tell her how I fucking felt, because that's how I dealt with my emotions. Whenever I had a problem, I would deal with the fucking problem. So she was a problem, and I tried to deal with it. But unfortunately, she was someone who didn't like dealing with her problems, and she tried to push it away. So I would try to solve it, and she wouldn't fucking do anything to me. And so the very last thing I could do, the only thing I felt I could rectify the problems I had, or the feelings I had, was to tell her how I fucking felt, because that's what I do. And I guess maybe to her, you know, telling her that I loved her and telling her that I cared about her made me look like a bitch-ass nigga. Or conceding to her made me look like I was a coward, because, you know, I didn't argue and I didn't fight back. But me personally, you know, I don't think so. I don't think that made me a coward, because, you know, I never did anything she asked me to do because I was scared of her, you know, because in all honesty, she really couldn't do anything to me in terms of physicality. So I was fuck all stronger than she was. She couldn't do anything to me in terms of social status, because she had zero social power, because she was obnoxious and a lot of people really didn't like her. So, I mean, she really couldn't do anything to me. I conceded because I genuinely wanted her to be happy. And so, whenever she said that, or whenever she implied, you know, that I was a coward, or that I didn't have any balls, or I wasn't a man, it never really, like I said, it never really, like, hurt my feelings, in that, you know, it really challenged me. It just confused me, because I didn't understand how come she couldn't see that, you know, just because I wasn't really mean or really angry, or like I would always fight that, like, that, let me see how I'm going to put this, I'm really sorry, but it confused me as to how she didn't understand that I prioritized her before me, right? That she didn't understand, you know, that I did it not because I had to, but because I wanted her to be happy. Even though I wanted her to talk to me and I wanted her to be with me, if she didn't want to be with me, I would not do anything. I would give her what she asked for. And I didn't understand why she didn't see that, you know, as anything respectable, you know, as why she didn't understand that, you know, that's what you do when you really love someone and you really care about someone, is that you you want them to be happy. You know, you do things for them because you want to, you know? And it's just weird because, you know, I know a lot of women, I know there's lots of guys who's probably been in my position and felt the way I felt and had to deal with a girl where they really cared, and that when they expressed themselves, you know, the girl lost attraction. The girl thought he was a coward because he wouldn't fight with her, you know? So for example, I had a friend of mine, an old great friend of mine, you know, who had to deal with a girl like that. Now, this girl was worse than my ex-girlfriend, you know, but she would try to fight with him and argue with him, and he wouldn't want to fight, you know, because he felt that there's no reason to argue over something stupid, so he wouldn't do it, and that would make her more mad, and she'd call him a bitch and a coward because he wouldn't stand up to her. And so I honestly kind of feel like this about it, you know, really, that because I know there are lots of women out here who are like that, and that really stems down to, at least from what I think, you know, is lack of a real father figure to really teach her what a man is, you know. And so when someone really loves you, really cares about you, it comes off as him being a coward because he's not fighting you all the time when he doesn't feel a need to. And I don't think a lot of women really understand that that's fucking unnecessary, you know, or that, like, you have to, you know, handle me, you know, or like, you're not man enough to handle me. Whatever insipid bullshit that is, that's just damn stupid in my opinion. Because I feel like it's not my job to try to fucking tame you, you know? I'm not a fucking Pokemon trainer, you know? And so if you're unreasonable, then you're being fucking unreasonable. Like, that's you. I shouldn't have to argue and fight and handle you. We should be fucking happy together, you know? We're not in a relationship to be miserable. We're together because we enjoy our time. So why in the world do you have to get angry and I have to fucking, you know, fight with you or argue with you or be dramatic? That's bullshit. Let's leave that for the fucking movies, right? Because I'm not here to be miserable. I'm here to be happy. So I'm not going to argue over stupid shit, you know? I think a really good example of kind of what I was chatting about was there's this movie Tyler Perry came out with. It's called The Temptations, right? And there's a really great scene that kind of really paints this point very well. You know, and I'm not sure if you've seen the movie, but there was the couple, the guy and his wife. I don't remember their names, but they were walking down the street going, you know, back from like a movie or show or something, right? And a couple of guys shouted out something to the woman, you know, saying, oh, she's sexy, or he said something about her ass or something like that. And the woman got riled up and she got really angry and tried to fight her. So her husband grabbed her and was like, stop arguing, let's get to the car, get into the car. So he gets her into the car, and when they get home, she starts complaining. She was like, you know, how come you didn't have my back when those guys were saying those things? And he replies, you know, listen, they could have had a gun. You know, and so from the woman's point of view, she's like, her man was being a bitch because, you know, he didn't fight, or, you know, he didn't argue back, or he didn't have my back, and this guy said something mean, you know, we just let those guys say those things. But from the man's point of view, he was saying, you know, I'm going to prioritize your safety. Those are just fucking words. I'm going to get you in this car, I'm going to protect you. So a lot of women, they don't seem to really understand that an action like that may come off as passive or being a coward, but that's me protecting you, you know what I'm saying? Because I would do the same fucking thing, because I'm not going to go fight somebody if I don't have to fight somebody. That's unreasonable. And so he logically said, you know what, let them say what they say, I'll never see them again, let's get into the car, let's go. But because he didn't fight back, or he didn't argue, or he wasn't aggressive, the woman didn't see that, and she didn't understand that him not fighting, or him picking his battles, was protecting her. I don't think a lot of women really understand that, you know, about men. But again, I do kind of say that I'm pretty sure this stems from not having a man in their life to teach them how a man fucking reacts to them, or how a man's supposed to be with them. You know, because like my ex-girlfriend would say stupid shit, and I'd call her on her bullshit all the fucking time, and she didn't like that. And she also didn't like the fact that I conceded, I guess I didn't really argue with her, but again, I called her on her stupid shit when she did stupid shit. Right? I don't know, it's just random thoughts coming in my head. I'm really sorry. Let me drink some chocolate milk. But yeah, it's just really some thoughts that I had about it all, because I don't really understand why I guess I do, but I'm still gonna complain about it. You know, I think it's really unfair to a lot of men, you know, that we are simultaneously told that we have to express our emotions, and at the same time, when we do express our emotions, that we're no longer attractive to these women who want these aggressive guys. It's unreasonable, in my opinion. You know, you can't like with Emma Watson and her her he for she campaigns. It's like men can't express their emotions anymore. Like men can't express their emotions until they physically cry. And it never dawns on them that the reason why is because we become unattracted to women, or because we're seen as only friends to these women. And that men do it because, you know, we want to be with women and we want to invest into a woman, but when we do, we're unattractive. So it's a fucking catch-22. You know, it's like, in order to be with a young lady, you gotta be a fucking asshole to her, or you gotta not express emotions to her. But at the same fucking time, if you do, or if you don't express these emotions, she's gonna fucking complain about how you don't express yourself. But when you do, then you become unattractive, and so there's no real way to fucking win in that situation, unless you find an emotionally stable girl, and that's difficult, unfortunately, in our society. So, those are my thoughts. I don't know. I don't think the statement is really fair. I do think some guys, like white knights, who submit to a woman, you know, because they're scared of her, they submit to a woman because all they've ever had was their own mom. I do think then you have to tell them, you know, you gotta man up. You know, you have to stand up for yourself when you're being treated badly. But at the same time, I think it's unfair to a lot of other guys who are nice and who are genuine and they really care and they don't want to argue, they don't want to fuss and fight when there's no reason to, that they get painted as a coward. That's unreasonable to me. You know, so those are my thoughts on that topic. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to really get into a lot and talk about it. So with that being said, I just really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you did, man, go ahead and click the like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comments below. And as always, have a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.